Hey, David Rutz here, David Allen Capital. I'm quarterback today. That means I get to lead this huddle, but we're all in it together. As we've said each time, don't forget, why are we here? We're here to receive so that we can go give, right? We want to be like a stream. We receive and keep sending off too. We do not just sit stagnant like a pond. So much like a basketball player needs to practice free throws all the time to get the muscle memory, we got to practice our business over and over so that we get muscle memory as well. And sometimes it's a huddle where it's a checkup from the neck up, and we recognize, oh wow, I've been a little off track. I need to look at my GPS every once in a while to make sure I'm still on track. You know, if I make the wrong turn in my car will say, hey, turn around or turn right at the next intersection. It'll course correct for you, but we don't have someone course correcting our business all the time. And so part of these huddles are to build the muscle memory, right? To get inspired so that we can receive, because out of an overflowing heart, we serve others, so we can fill up, fuel up so that we can support others. And so we're like a stream. We're not a pond. We're doing muscle memory. We keep growing this. It becomes natural, and we get the checkup from the neck up. Those are the primary reasons. Now, of course, facts tell, stories sell. What does that mean? Well, we all know what that means. You can give people the facts all day long. It doesn't move them. They want to feel something, and stories are what people feel and move into action. Jesus Christ, best teacher of all times. Even the people who don't believe him said he was a great prophet, which, side note, he's a great prophet. Was he a liar? I don't think you'd call him a great prophet if he was a liar. So he said he was the son of God. So if you don't believe he was the son of God, then you got to believe he was a liar. But with all that said, I go on the tangent. Greatest teacher ever used parables, stories. He could have quoted scripture. He could have quoted facts. Instead, he said a story. Imagine a farmer goes out with 4 types of seeds to sow seeds. It tells a story, and a fisher and a king this and a this that. It's all stories. Stories are remembered. So we are pros. We're B2B pros here. And if we're not, we're growing to be. And that means we want to use stories to attract clients and train brokers and build our own belief. See, when our belief grows from the inside out, we can serve others. It all germinates with a belief and then a faith, and then you get the confidence. You don't have the confidence till you first have the belief and faith in what you're doing and what you're talking about and what you have. You believe in business funding, yes, for 90% of the business who can't get it at the bank. You believe in that, right? Yeah, of course you do. And you also believe the Bank Breezy funding platform is the best funding platform if they're going to go into alternative capital, right? And we also know the outcome of the funds matters more than the cost, right? How it's going to contribute to their business, yesterday's refinement, how it's going to contribute to their business more than what it's going to cost their business. And as long as the contribution is up here and the cost is down here, it's a good decision, right? So if we believe all that, then we can move forward and act. And as we move forward and act, we make impact, right? So that's what we're going to be doing. But as we're doing it, we have to tell ourselves that story. We have to hear stories. We have to see it working in the marketplace, and then we share it. And by you sharing a story, yeah, we helped a company, a brick and mortar company who wanted to expand. They had new jobs, but they couldn't take them. They didn't have the money. We were able to get them the $75,000. They bought some more wheelbarrows, expanded their team, and now they're able to say yes to more brick jobs. That's awesome because we were able to get them the 75 grand. That's a story. You won't forget that. You just saw a fuel play just in a story. You won't forget that. Why'd the brick company get funds? Because they were getting jobs they couldn't say yes to because they didn't have money. So we got a money, they got job, right? So let me give you a story real quick. This is a real life story from yesterday. Cheryl shared one of today, but let me share one that just came in. Wade's story right here. Cool. This is a restaurant out of Illinois. I'm reading it for the first time, so forgive me. Broker Israel Valera. Thank you, Israel. This is a restaurant needed fundings for renovation. Credits marginal. FICO score only, wait, this is yesterday. No, this is today. Credit is marginal since the owner has a FICO of 575. Received funding in August for $50K. So they just got money. There was nowhere near what they needed. they requested an additional 150,000. The revenue is averaging about 100,000 a month. Most of the lenders in our 20 network came back with offers between $40,000 and $60,000 in that range. Pretty good, but they needed more. Wade had some conversations with various providers, and we found one of those lenders who was willing to go give them what they needed and got them a second position of $154,000 11-month deal at a 1.45 rate. Offer was presented yesterday, and they're speaking more with them today. So it may be accepted by now, but that just shows we got them what they needed, but that doesn't mean they go, oh, yes, I'm ready to run. I'm ready to run right now. Let's go. Give me the money. Even when you get what someone needs, it really comes down to what's the contribution to the business going to be for the cost of the capital. And then they make a decision. The good news is most often they take the funding because they're anticipating what the cost is going to be. And they anticipate what the contribution is going to be. All right. So there's your story for today. Another restaurant, they got 50 grand. They needed 150 grand more. Most of our lenders would only give them 40 to 60,000. And guess what that means? If they didn't have us, they wouldn't know about the $154,000 offer, right? Was it 154? Is that what I said? Yeah. They wouldn't know about that offer. They would have said, oh, I can only get 40 more, 50 more. We had many tell them 40 to 60,000. That's what happens when you use the Bank 3 Easy funding platform. You get the highest offer, you get the best pricing, and you get multiples. So our team can help find the right fit for your client, all in a very simple way. We've done this for thousands of clients, so we've got it locked in solid. All right, muscle memory going up right now, belief going up. Can you feel the growth happening? Can you feel the growth happening? Now, we said last week you're going to have thoughts are going to be bricks to build a wall to stop you, or they're going to be bricks to build a bridge to start you and to keep you going, right? Which one are you doing when you hear this? Hopefully you're building a bridge, not a wall. Okay. You can do both all throughout the day. So it's important to remember you got to put more bricks over here in the bridge than you're putting into the wall. And once you find out you're building the wall, you got to bust through it right away. When's the easiest time to pull a weed? The first moment you see it coming out of the ground. There's no roots yet. Pull it. Let that baby grow for 6-7 weeks. And now you need 2 hands, gloves, and you may not even get the whole root out. You may pull it and it might break because the root is already taken root. Your wall can stop you. Our walls can stop us if we let those thoughts grow and build brick walls. We got to bust through them, kick them down. So right now, what thoughts do you have that stop you from reaching out to more businesses? What thoughts do you have that stop you from reaching out to successful businesses? What thoughts do you have that stop you from reaching out to a bank manager? Cheryl just told the story of a bank client who gave her a referral today, got the offer today. That's awesome. What thoughts stop you from talking to the Chamber of Commerce meeting? Those are all wall builders. If there's something you got to get in place to be a pro, get it in place. If you got to learn what to say, then practice what to say and then go say it. If you got to learn something, great, but it's usually not learning. It's usually comfort, right? Not knowledge, comfort. And we're not going to allow comfort to stop us. So B2B pros on here. What do B2B pros do? Here's the pro tip as we roll out of this huddle today. Pro tip today. What pros do is pros pre-frame the ending or pre-frame the transition. What that means is they paint a picture for their clients. They don't just let the conversation go. In their mind, they're taking a customer on a journey. The reason we say facts tell, stories sell is because you want to know, hey, if I use stories, it'll be remembered. If I use stories, it'll touch them internally. They'll feel it. It'll hit part of their brain that brings comfort rather than just facts and logic. It'll actually help deliver a feeling, a sensation of this is a good company to do business with. So facts tell, stories sell. Well, another thing you can do that pros do is pre-frame. They take you on a journey through a discussion, much like a story. Let me give you an example. One way you could say this, I want to see how much you qualify for. Okay. A pre-frame is I'm not trying to see if you qualify. I want to see how much you qualify for and whether that makes sense for your business. You just became their friend. I want to see how much you qualify for and whether that makes sense for your business, how it'll contribute to your business. That is different than let's see if you qualify. Right? See the difference? One person may say, well, let's want to fill out the app and let's see if you qualify. That doesn't sound very engaging. Doesn't sound like you're really a partner or really even confident in your product. But it's, I want to let's fill out the app so we can see how much you can qualify for and find out whether that makes good sense for your business. Do you have another pre-frame? Do you already have some thoughts on how you could drive your sales or grow your profit that getting funding could help you accomplish? That's a pre-framing. So you're taking them on a journey rather than just saying words. Okay, so facts tell, story sell, pre-frame. So here's your pro tip today. If you're not already pre-framing, then you might be peddling. You might be peddling rather than partnering, and they don't want to deal with you. If you're all about, let's get the app in, let's get the app in, let's get the app in so you can make a commission, you're a peddler, not a partner. You want to be a partner. The client relaxes when they feel like you're on their side, same side selling, some people call it. They feel you're looking out for their interests first, not your company's, Bank Breezy's, or your commissions yourself. You're not looking out for DAC by doing this. You want to operate with integrity, but we don't want to do business with anybody that we're not putting in a better situation. So that means you're always getting on the side of the table of the client and making sure this fits them. All right. When you do that, you'll make significant commissions because you're leading with the great commission, taking care of others. Right. So when you later say, let's get your app started, it'll feel like, remember, because we already talked about, we're getting the app started because we want to find out how much you qualify for to see if it makes sense for your business. Right. So here's your drill for today. If you're a basketball player, you're Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, you're going to the gym and you're shooting 1,000 free throws today, even though you're already hit 97% of them in practice, right? You're still going to go do 1,000. Otherwise, eventually you don't hit 97%. So pros practice all the time. Practice saying 25 times out loud. My goal isn't to see if you qualify. It's to see how much you'd qualify for and whether that makes sense for your business goals or not. Sound fair? Say that 25 times. Say that 25 times to get your tone calm. Be confident. It sounds collaborative, right? Step 2, add it naturally to every new conversation you have today. Your phone, your direct messages, your text, or in person. Add it to those messages, right? And step 3, notice how the tone of your talks change. Pros will guide the conversation, amateurs push. Experts sort if it's the right fit, amateurs sell. Right? So we're going to go be an advisor. This one little line can turn you from being a salesperson into being a service person, and from an amateur to a pro. So make sure you're looking at all these things, putting them all into your ingredients. They all go into your salad. And when they all go into your salad, you win. Okay. Frame the game early and you'll win more often. So that's our send off today. Practice that 25 times and then say